Wishing good luck to all our racing patrons. We start the race preview of this first extra day, that is the 5th of the season. Wednesday meeting. First race of the afternoon is the play.hydraces.com. Plate number 2 is Canterbury. Already having 5 runs off the board in all the 5 starts except for the mild run where it finished closed 5th to NRI Super. But other runs are not so good here. The winner was the Akhanda, who got it by half a length, whereas Canterbury was far behind the field, finishing 7th. Number 3, Desert Sultan and 10, Sweet Dancer are the runners who were in chase of the leader. That was Bangor on D. When you look at these two runners, the way they covered the ground, it was impressive for especially Desert Sultan, who covered enormous ground and fell short of a head. And Bangor on D, who was in need of the post, just held on. But look at the strides of Desert Sultan with the reminders, bridging the gap in every stride, and just lost it by a head, whereas Sweet Dancer managed to be third, 2 lengths behind these two runners. MILTON KEYNES, runner having 3 starts, comparing its first 2 runs, lot of improvement shown here, finishing third by a margin of 4 lengths to Superlative. Superlative won by half a length. Couple of runners were bridging the gap, whereas MILTON KEYNES towards the fence with the backhanders was able to finish third, short head better of the 2 runners were finishing well on the outside. It was MILTON KEYNES who came from outside, whereas My Pleasure is the runner what we'll be looking at. Race number 179, debut run, finishing 8th out of big field of nearly 12 runners. Carlisle was the eventual winner by 2 lengths, but looking at My Pleasure, just a debut run, we cannot say anything about this runner. Resurgence ran in race number 142, first run of its career. Resurgence in pursuit of the leaders by Ampere, and not having enough room there and slightly taken out. They got the gap, accelerated, but it was little late, ridden hard according to me. Winner being too good, won it by 5.5 length. That was True Icon. Far away 5th is Resurgence. Bellagio having 4 runs, good performer in all the 4 starts, but unlucky, not able to stand in the winner's circle. Third on debut run to Ashoka, second to Arthur, then second to Ashram Morocco, then here third to NRI Super. Looking at the runs of Bellagio, as I said, good consistent performer, but not good enough to be the winner. Divine Connection ran in race number 78 after finishing 7th in debut to Happy Go Lucky. Here slightly hanging in. The rider reported the horse was hanging in the straight and finished on 8th out of 9 runners, just speeding 1 home, and that was behind Ashoka. Second race on this midweek meeting is the Mill Reef Plate, to be run over 7 furlong in category 3 for horses rated 20 to 45. Number 1 is Unmatched. Unmatched produced very wide, started to drift out under pressure, and rider going hands and heels. Then again a reminder on its right, once again this, and still holding on left, but still that acceleration was not good enough to even to finish on the board. But earlier 2 runs impressive. Winner beating Royal Pal by 1.25 length. Later on did his best to defy the penalty, finishing third by a margin of 2 lengths to Narak Michi. Here finished on 8th. Moria Invictus in 5 starts, once a winner. That too got its win on merit of consistency after finishing 4th and 2nd, then turned out to be a winner. Later on taken over a longer trip of mile. There it was not on board. Then again tried back in 6 furlong, where it finished a little close, 5th to Miss Little Angel. Number 3, Salisbury, towards the fence, ran in race number 178. Even this runner having a win, but running well after a win, finishing on the board here, rallied well to finish 2nd. Winner being too good, that was Nolan, who won it by 4 lengths. Considering the gap, still beating the rest of the field by a neck and more than length, was Salisbury, who charged on the inside. Number 7, Dream Jewel, 4, Siri are the runners. They are the stablemates, and they ran in race number 163 over 2000 meters. Looking at Siri, winner in his first race of this season, that was in race number 22 in class 5, in a higher class once on board, whereas Dream Jewel, winner in 7 furlong, even in this one in the class 5, Later on in higher classes, tested over longer trips, starting from mile 7 furlong 2000 meters, but not on board. It's On ran in race number 168 between the runners. Ridden out, took time to warm up, came well, but little late when Gregor Georgia Peach was able to fight out with the front runner, and covering good ground was It's On. And the moment it bridged the gap, by the time the winning post was there for the first and two, finishing 1.25 length behind these two was It's On. Good improvement run of It's On comparing its earlier run in race number 152. Lightning Power having 5 starts, not on board in all the 5 starts. Comparing its earlier runs, little improvement shown in last 2 runs over longer trips. 2000 meter trip 6th, mile and a half against 6th. Today over 7 furlong, where it is first time this season over 7 furlong, has run beyond mile. Wildcard ran in race number 171 when there was a charge of 4 to the finish, with Farrell getting the last stride winner by 2 lengths, whereas Wildcard, on the other hand, took time to warm up, came and finished on 7th. Arya, race number 158, running 6th and suddenly fell back to finish 11th. Pushed hard was Arya, but still did not muster well. Very prominent till the last 200 meters, but weakened very badly. Earlier run, notable third to Loris by 1.5 length, but did not reproduce that run here. GURBAAZ ran in race number 174. This horse has 7 runs this season. Out of 7 starts, 3 times 4th. Here the run where it finished on 5th. Produced very wide, covered little bit of ground to finish 5th. Winner is Costello, got the race by half a length, whereas GURBAAZ earlier 4th by a margin of 1.25 length to Prime Gardenia. Truth and Dare ran in race number 145. We have full field of 14 out of the 12. Number 12 is Truth and Dare, who ran 7th to CHAR. Ridden out, but still could not muster well. Earlier run 7 furlong trip 8th. Here 7 furlong trip 7th. Already has 4 7 furlong trip, of that twice 8th and twice 7th. Number 13 is Inception, who ran in race number 181. Earlier winner in race number 133, beating NRI Blue by shorted. Later on, worked well to defy the penalty, managed to be in the frame, 4th to NRI Gift here. 6th in the mile trip, extended trip was there, extra 200 meters could not sustain, whereas back to 7 furlong is Inception. Health and Happiness, this season very bad form shown by Health and Happiness, particularly the race what we are looking at, race number 67, which was won by Siavash. Health and Happiness ran, this is the wrong race what we are looking at. Actually, it has got withdrawn in race number 88. Race number 68 finished on 7th to 8th to Siavash. Third race is the first division of the Royal Select Plate to be run over 6 furlong for horses rated up to 25. Number 1, Ibuk. Ibuk ran in race number 157, hurried up well, very wide, ridden vigorously. Initial stages got interfered, but here charged well to finish 5th. Indeed, too good on the day, winning it by 2.25 length. Earlier runs of Ibuk, couple of runs on board. 4 to Narak Michi is a one good one. Number 2 is Lockstiller, back marker in race number 182, finishing 11 to Mr. Angel, who swept the field by 5.5 lengths. Going by the form of Lockstiller, except for a close third to stablemate Hip Hop, nothing much to say about this runner because has not done anything good to say, always off the board. Number 3 is Sport on Fire, race number 143, having 3 runs, sparingly raced. Race number 83, 14 to Palladino. Race number 129, 12 to Loris. And race number 143, 11 to Nolan. It has finished last because always 14th out of 14, 12th out of 12th, and here 11th out of 11th. So that's the credential of Sport on Fire, who still remains a maiden, never on the frame in all the starts, including 2 runs earlier in monsoon also. Number 4, Classy Dame, ran in race number 81 over 1100 meters, having 2 runs. Race number 52, fancied run at 9 to 2, but finished off the board 11th out of 11 to Flamingo Fame, race number 81. Up with the pace, gradually weakened to finish 9-2. Gustino to got the race by a neck. First in line ran in race number 164 along with Tales of a Legend. Even Tales of a Legend is a runner who is not on board. And first in line Sutu is a back marker. Here, up with the pace, already was running out of gas. The rider sensed for it and he just went for the whip with a couple of backhanders. Of the two, Tales of a Legend warmed up a little late, comparing its earlier run where it had finished 13th, 8th, 12th, 13th, 7th. This is the run where it has shown little improvement, coming close to the frame like 6th. To Explosive, whereas first in line, who was up with the pace, gradually fell back to finish 7th. Earlier 2 runs of first in line has finished 9th on both occasions. This is the time to win. Yet to get a time to win is this is the time to win. Still a maiden. After finishing a notable second to NRA gift by 2 lengths, little expectation on this runner as it was at 8-1, but could not muster well over a mile, finishing 9th to Superman. Berkeley and Southern Lady are the runners who ran in race number 180 over a mile. They are running over a shorter trip today from mile to 6 furlong, whereas Berkeley credentials having 6 runs, 1 sprint event close third to Silver Set. Later on, next run, subsequent start finished 8 where it bursted blood vessels. After that, I think it has not recovered much. Whereas Southern Lady, after finishing 4th in a 9 furlong trip to Enara New Hustle, other 2 runs has finished off the board, 10th and 11th. 8 is RHINE, ran in race number 172 over 7 furlong. Promising runs of RHINE in earlier starts, race number 133, 3rd by a short head neck to Inception. Then 4th by a margin of 3 1/4 length to Hip Hop. But this particular run off the board, finishing a far away in 9, did not accelerate at any part of the race, even though the rider gave a vigorous ride in the straight. Number 11, It's My Life, ran in race number 140, finishing 4th. The riding style was a little funny for me, the way the jockey was going for the whip. And he was having difficulty in handling this horse, finishing 4th. Comparing its earlier run, little improvement shown by It's My Life. 4th race on this Wednesday meeting is the Galileo Plate to be run over 6 furlong for 5-year-olds and upward, rated 20 to 45. We start with Lineweiler. 2 more runners are there. That's number 5 Thunder Road and number 8 Prime Gardenia. This is race number 186. This race was won by Dunkirk, who had already taken charge in the last 275 meters and held on by 3/4 of a length when a couple of runners were charging well. That was Sacred Lamb on the very wide outside. It looked like Sundancer towards the fence. And going by the form of Lineweiler, winner over 7 furlong. After that, 3 mile runs. 5th, 6th and 7th it has finished in that order. Back to 6 furlong. I think the distance may be a little suitable. Whereas Prime Gardenia winner in 7 furlong, 6 furlong, that mile could not stay on. We go to 2 Max and number 10 Blazing Jupiter. Let's look at Blazing Jupiter, who was up with the pace, vigorously ridden, but winner being too good. Indy won it by 2 1/4 length. Max was able to beat off Blazing Jupiter by 1 1/4 length. Warmed up well to bridging the gap. Lot of improvement shown by this runner, comparing its earlier run where it finished on 11th to NRI Touch. Mind Reader once more battle ready are the runners. They ran in race number 158. So race number 158 was won by Prime Gardenia. On the outside was Prime Gardenia, whereas Mind Reader very wide, and other 2 runners was in race number 158 battle ready, who covered a little bit of ground to finish in chase of the leader, but still Prime Gardenia got the race by half a length. And Sea Wolf, one more runner that was in race number 158 was Mind Reader, managed to finish 3rd, and once more on the other hand finished on 9th. Indian Temple ran in race number 144, first run for this runner here, and finished on 12-2 rhythm selection. So off the board was Indian Temple. Nothing much about to say about this runner. In Madras, winner over 6 furlong, and first run we have to just forget it. Number 6, Soul Empress. Little slow at the start, losing about a couple of lengths. Later on, gather momentum well, hanging in a bit. You can see the rider going for the whip on the inside, then pushing hard. Costello was the winner of this race, winning it by half a length. 2 lengths behind, finishing well, was Soul Empress. Winner in race number 103, later on finished on 5th in a higher class, and here notable 3rd. Number 9, NRI Heights, ran in race number 175, finishing 6th in a mile trip to Star Bay. Going by the form of this runner, except for one's 4th in 8 starts, is nothing done good to consider, particularly in this particular run over a mile. Last 2 runs over a mile, 13th and 6th. 11 is Sea Wolf. This is race number 168, which was won by Georgia Peach, tackling the leader, going stride for stride, whereas Sea Wolf produced very wide, vigorously ridden, took time to warm up, came and finished on 5th. Winner was too good, got it by a neck after fighting all the way in the last 200 meters. But look at Sea Wolf, who covers ground to finish 5th. Number 13 is Queen Blossom, race number 184, mile and a half trip, then up with the pace, then started to run out of gas and totally got empty in the last 100 meters, where it fell back to finish 10th out of 11 runners to Grand Duke. Even earlier longer trip, 12th out of 14 runners to Iceberry. Once 2000 meter trip, finished a notable 2nd to Philanthropist by a nose. That was a very good run of Queen Blossom. We go to Silver Set. The horse, after winning a class 5 6 furlong trip, beating Theo's Choice by a neck, here finished on 3rd. Earlier part of the race got interfered, then in the straight, little bit of good run to bridge the gap to finish 3rd behind Soul Empress. Feature event of the afternoon, the 5th race, the Mirza Zunur Ahmad Memorial Trophy, to run over a 7 furlong for horses rated 40 to 65. We have number 2 Akido, number 3 Maximum Glamour, number 13 Gregor Clegane. This race is going to be a very competitive one by the card, what we are looking at, by the contestants, what we have. Akido charged well to finish next 2nd to City of Blossom. When you look at the other runner, that was Gregor Clegane, was not able to muster well. Maximum Glamour, after dashing into the lead from the word go, could not hold on when he was overall by the other group of runners. Number 4 is Soloist, number 10 Char Ek Char. This is race number 160, which was won by Super Angel, who came and beat off the fancied Soloist. Soloist took charge in the straight and shaping like a winner, but surprised by the stablemate Super Angel, who surpassed the leader to win it by 2 1/4 length, and Char Ek Char finished on 7th. Number 6 DRD, number 12 Shazam, number 11 Mark My Day are the runners. Let's look at DRD credentials. Between the runners was DRD. Mark My Day towards the fence, just one of the fence was Mark My Word. So DRD, earlier winner in class 5, higher class 1's 4th. That was a good run. After winning a race, made efforts to defy the penalty, but here too good was Maneli, who won it by 2 1/4 length. And Mark My Day, after being very prominent, gradually fell back to 7th. Shazam, on the other hand, was not very contentious, but still managed to finish 5th, beating off Mark My Day as well as DRD. Angel Tesoro ran in race number 107. This race was won by Unsung Hero. Came with a very powerful run to beat off the long-time leader by a neck. But looking at Angel Tesoro, after winning a class 4 race, 3 runs in class 3, has not shown much to be close to the frame. Number 8, Just Incredible. Number 9, Rhythm Selection. They ran in race number 177, which was won by Count of Savoy. Count of Savoy, easy win for it. After overhauling the front runner, slightly lucking in, but the rider was able to handle well. And after overhauling the leaders, just cruised to victory by 2 1/2 length. Looking at Just Incredible, who was covering ground. Earlier, mile and a half, ran a good run to finish 3rd by 2 3/4 of a length, whereas Resume Selection, earlier 6 furlong winner. So we hop on to the last race of the day, the Division 2 of the Royal Select Plate, to be run over 6 furlong for horses rated up to 25. Good number of runners here. Ayur Tej, My Master, Space Time, Spectacular Cruise and Academy Angel. Let's start with Ayur Tej. This is race number 164, which was won by Explosive, who was still nearly 5 lengths from the leader and 2 lengths behind Ayur Tej. But the way it exploded in the last 100 meters was very impressive to get the race by 2 lengths. Ayur Tej, on the other hand, totally backed out to finish 11th, whereas My Master also very much up with the pace, chasing the leaders and finished on 5th. The other 2 runners, That's My Way, that is race number 164. We have Spectacular Cruise, also finished well to be in the frame. Rider lost the whip at the crucial stage of the race, whereas Space Time, on the other hand, missed the start very badly, burnt energy early till turning into the straight, totally ran out of gas. It was a spent force there, finishing 12th. So of the 4, my pick may be Spectacular Cruise, the way it ran up with the pace after a long time. Number 3 is Vision of Rose. This ran in race number 127, finishing 4 to Sally. Moved well when Sally kicked on gamely to 2 3/4 of a length, whereas this horse was a leader, long-time leader. We call it as earlier Princess Shania, now rechristened as Vision of Rose, but ran well after being very prominent, surrendering the lead to Sally. Worked hard to be in the frame. Horse of War ran in race number 172, finishing 13 to Ashwa Sultan, who held on by a neck. When you look at the run of Horse of War, earlier 2 runs, 5th in 7 furlong as well as mile 6 furlong, whereas again 7 furlong trip finished on 13th. Number 7 is NRI City, who ran in race number 140, which was won by NRI Gift. Going with the run, he was running in the lead and up with the pace till the turn, fell back to finish 8th. Race number 156 got withdrawn. Number 9 is New Rule, who ran in race number 164. New Rule form not so good to explain anything about it. Race number 164 got interfered at the early part of the race and finished on 8th. Earlier runs also has finished 10th, 9th, 7th, 7th, from 6 furlong to 7, back to 6 furlong, finishing 8th. Number 10 is That's My Way, who ran in race number 180. Already has 8 runs in that 8 starts, twice 4th. Once 1100 meter 4th to Blue Label by 5 lengths, then race number 172, 7 furlong 4th to Ashwa Sultan by 2 lengths. Race number 180, mile trip 8 to Call of the Blue, so not impressive here in this particular run.